I'm Rachel Parsons, and I travel alone all over the world to show you that traveling solo doesn't have to be so scary.
And then being alone
doesn't mean you're lonely. So come on, don't wait for anyone to go with. The world is not going to wait for you. Don't be afraid.
Coagulated pig's blood.
Don't be afraid. Be a peregrine dame. In early November 2013, Typhoon Haiyan, known here in the Philippines as Yolanda, made landfall out of the Pacific in this region. I watched with the rest of the world as storm surges destroyed Tacloban, killing more than 6,000 people. A little more than a year later, Ruby came through and blasted the area again. Although thanks to early evacuations and a weaker storm front, only a handful of lives were lost. Because I know how easy it can be for a disaster to leave the news cycle and be forgotten, I've come here, alone as usual, out of sheer curiosity to see for myself the progress that's been made. I've decided to make camp at the Z-Pad residences on the edge of Tacloban city center. At about $30 a night for what's advertised as a mini room, it's on the high end of the budget options for the area. It may not be the cheapest in Tacloban, but it's definitely one of the smallest. But hey, it's newly redone and clean. Could be worse. I got a bigger room, but it took my shower in the mini that I had originally booked flooding to do it. So there you go. That's how you get an upgrade. I'm not here to stay inside a hotel room anyway. I was told once upon a time that Tacloban was a sleepy little town. And it was. But in just the past 40 years, the population of this provincial capital has nearly tripled to more than 220,000 people. I watched the news like everyone else around the world when Yolanda hit and when Ruby hit a year later, and I didn't see much footage of downtown Tacloban. We saw, the shanty towns along the water's edge that were blown away. We saw the devastation, but downtown Tacloban is hopping. It's incredible. I was expecting a sleepy little backwater, I think, when I was doing my research and coming through here, and that's not what this is. It's that sheer number of people that, when combined with the extreme poverty, contributed to the high death toll during the typhoon in 2013. I get the feeling that Tacloban City wasn't in the best shape before Hurricane Yolanda. One block you'll see a building that looks like this, and the next you'll see a building that looks like this. And I have no way of knowing what was due to hurricane damage and what was just neglect. And then there's the obvious influence of politics and religion in this predominantly Catholic country. It's hard to know for sure, but whether it was just a matter of course, or due to the Pope's recent visit, all of the churches, of course, and the legislative and governmental offices here for the city and the region are in pretty darn good shape, if not pristine. While many people live in conditions like this. Yes, it's filthy and it's poor. But when you find a quiet street like this where people are just living their lives at dusk, it's beautiful twilight, it actually has some charm. And there's barbecue everywhere. Pardon my chicken. Just eat the street food. I got 2 pieces of barbecued chicken on sticks. It didn't even cost me $1. And I've got enough protein to last me half a day. Don't be afraid. It hadn't killed me yet. And I need the sustenance because things are about to get heavy. This is Barangay 70, one of the stretches that was hardest hit when the typhoon made landfall. But there were many stretches. The city of Tacloban is on a peninsula. Because of its geography, the storm surge from Yolanda wrapped around it and came at the town from 3 sides. That surge was the height of a 2-story building. This barangay, or neighborhood, was made famous when these images of grounded ships hit the international news. But what strikes me more immediately is the welcoming party. I suddenly have an entourage. I've heard conflicting stories from people. Some of the kids say locals wanted the ship to stay as a reminder. Some of the adults said no. I'm not quite sure, something hasn't been lost in translation. I've had a couple of other people closer into downtown Tacloban tell me that yes, some of the barangays, the local village leaders here, did ask for one or two of these hulls to stay here. And now people are making the best of it. This particular one, people have moved in and are using it as homes and shelter. But it's a powerful symbol of the destruction.